Hello, this is Mike Graham from the Way to You Weight Loss and Personal Development Program. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about my marketing journey because I had my weight loss journey and I've talked about it in the previous video, but in the process of wanting to get what I see as essential material out to people so that they too can enjoy the ease and comfort of losing weight in a safe and sane way, I had to go on a journey just to learn marketing. And this has been a long journey, really. It's taken me through, many places, many people, in an attempt to learn something that is one of life's hardest skills, almost, I'd say. I mean, it's not surprising. I think it's taken a long time. I mean, it took at school, how many years to learn a language or mathematics to a degree of competence. But the thing is, one was just in the process of going to school every day, so one didn't really notice it. It's just an ongoing process where progress was sort of quite slow. Whereas as we get older, we expect to learn things faster. So, I mean, relatively, I'd found that actually marketing has taken me quite a long time to learn. I first started getting interested in the idea of marketing back in 2014. I bought a lot of programs online, listened to a lot of things, enjoyed many, many things, particularly in areas to do with my mind, like hypnosis tapes, brainwave entrainment technology, personal development stuff. And something I'd thought about was, well, actually, these guys are making money off me. I'd like to make some back. And, hey presto, a few ideas came to me, usually via people's emails, talking about coaching marketing. And eventually I decided to dip my toe in and bought a fairly unpretentious program called Inbox Blueprint by Anik Singhal. And it didn't cost me a whole lot. And I just sort of had a look around the places. I also signed up to something called the Profit Academy, run by the same people, and that was much more expensive, mind. And I got my early education in marketing. I didn't get very far with it, but I did get as far as having a squeeze page made for me and somebody write me up a lead magnet, which is very kind of them. And sort of nothing sounded that hard, although it was really elementary what I was doing. And it was just affiliate marketing. You go and find yourself a niche and then go and look for products on ClickBank. And after that, sort of start working towards trying to sell the product you decided that you're interested in with using a lead magnet, a squeeze page, and front-end offers. I mean, it's not a whole lot different to what people do today when they're running a sort of a low-ticket, medium-ticket funnel. But of course, my understanding of it then was completely different to what it is now. And after about 3 months and listening to a coach tell me a certain amount of things at 2 a.m. in the morning, which wasn't very easy, my whole project sort of hit this obstacle, which I'll term as traffic, which is basically means people who are surfing on the internet, who are looking for certain topics, trying to get them to come and have a look at my material. We use ads to do it, plus put content online. And I was told about these various forms of traffic at that stage, and Anik Singhal recommended everybody did solo ads, which I thought was a bit of a non-starter for me. I didn't really fancy paying very much for it, and just to get not very good subscribers onto an email list. So I sort of felt that that was sort of like the buffers at the time, and my interest dropped off having got that far. But it'd been an early sally into the world of affiliate marketing. Then they ran a rerun of the Profit Academy weekend workshop, which I went on, and sort of my knowledge advanced a bit. And tied up in this particular presentation was a further presentation online of a program run by a group who is supposed to be able to advance people's internet marketing knowledge by quite a long way. And optimistically, I joined this group for quite a large sum of money and discovered that I was so far out of my depth that if I went any further, I'd be drowning. It was like that. They held webinars, seminars and stuff, most of which were delivered in completely technical language, and very little made sense. And I sort of soon developed a resistance to these people, which wasn't, because it was just too much for sort of somebody in the foothills of marketing to actually begin to understand it. And I thought, well, why can't they just explain things properly instead of assuming all this knowledge and sort of claiming how big they are? And very soon after that, I found a coaching course run by a person called Alex Jeffries, which is about creating one's own product rather than becoming somebody else's affiliate. So I signed up for that and started on the road to creating my own product, which was an eye-opener really, because it took me ages to decide what sort of a product I wanted to make, in which niche, even though my initial interest was in doing hypnosis, which I'm very interested in. And this journey, well, it was a very long process, and I wasn't that fast at the work I was doing, but I'd listened to these previous editions of his Inner Circle and try and glean the basics of a knowledge and understanding of how to put a product together, and how I should slant my way of looking at it so that it would appeal to the right sort of people. And that's basically something that marketers have to learn, how to actually create a product in a way that does appeal to a number of the sort of people that they wish to have as their customers. And I spent quite a lot of time doing this. The progress was slow, and a lot of the time was spent just trying to understand how marketing worked. Of course, the costs of everything were quite high then, and remained high, to build what they call funnels, which is sort of, how do I explain it? If you think of a funnel, and they use this term in terms of sales funnels, and I know far more about it now. A funnel is something where you develop a relationship with a potential customer who comes into your initial sales process buying a lead magnet or buying a free front-end free product off you, which they're interested in, and they end up on your email list. And like any funnel, it's supposed to direct the contents of the funnel through a much smaller aperture at the bottom end into another space, like on a tractor, or on a motor mower, you pour petrol into the top of the funnel. Well, here you're pouring customers into the top of the funnel, or subscribers into the top of the funnel, and taking them down the funnel through a sales process and into a place where they're coming out at the other end, and I guess being full of whatever it was they came to get, whether it's knowledge or a goal reached or a complete set of understandings about a relative issue. And I think that I had a problem with the way that the knowledge was presented, because it's quite hard listening to other people's calls, to calls on a weekly basis, to try and sift out with the knowledge you have to discover in order to create the process which is going to work for you. But anyway, ultimately I got my basic program built and designed. But so after a while it seemed like I got far enough, because I then had to go and find myself affiliates to sell my products, and I wasn't in a position to completely do that yet, and it seemed like a big task. And eventually I found somebody to sort of go and look for affiliates for me, but the costs of doing that were fairly high, although I have got a list of them. At the same time, I was sort of my interest was caught by another program called Internet Profits, which is run by a guy called Dean Holland, and it's a sort of affiliate program whereby you get a lot of coaching on how to be an affiliate, what to do to make the best job that you can make. It costs me quite a lot. All these programs do cost. God knows how much I've spent on marketing, learning marketing, how to become an affiliate, and how to market Dean Holland's products. And it was sort of rather like a pyramid scheme, actually. That's the best way of looking at it, where you enter at the bottom, then you go up a level and try and create a tier below you of people who are buying the same sort of products through you, or cheaper products within the range of products that are being sold. Although Dean would say this is just learning affiliate marketing so that you can market anything, and it's probably right to say that, but I didn't get very far with it, although I attended an awful lot of webinars and picked up quite a lot of knowledge, but I found it took up too much time, and I wasn't that interested in the products that we were trying to sell. And in the meantime, I got acquainted with a much bigger marketing guy called Russell Brunson. I picked up his ClickFunnels, for instance, which is how you build funnels, which is a software for building funnels, which I referred to earlier, so that I could actually build out, the software where people could go and sign into my email marketing, my email list, become my subscribers. I could build an opt-in page, and then I learned how to build other pages. And I think I reached an impasse at the start of 2019 where obviously the affiliate marketing wasn't going very well. And you might ask, well, why am I spending all this time doing something I'm obviously not good at? You might well ask that. And I'll tell you this, it has a sort of irresistibility about it. Once the bug is caught, you have to keep on going. Whether you always take the same route is another matter, and a lot of people change course often during the process of trying to make it online. And it's sort of compelling. I'll leave it at that, because without going into too many details, it's very, very hard to put down. It's not quite like an addiction, but it's very near that. There's something that drives you on and on and But at the start of 2019, I came across this really quite economic program called the One Funnel Away Challenge, which was being run by Russell Brunson and some coaches of his. And I bought it for $100. And if that had come along straight away in my life, I'd have probably got there quicker, because this is one of the best $100 you can ever spend, and certainly worth more to me than most of the other dollars I'd spent on marketing courses and stuff, far more. Because it was a succinct 30-day challenge in which basically one learned all the basics about how to put a simple funnel out online and put traffic into it. And, you know, if you're wondering about learning marketing, then I can only recommend going and doing the One Funnel Away Challenge by Russell Brunson and finding out for yourself, because for a mere fraction of the price it costs to get marketing knowledge from elsewhere, this little product is a work of genius. And in my first month, I accomplished more in marketing than I'd achieved in the previous, I don't know, few years. And I refined the whole thing over a further 3 times doing the course. And I learned how to put a product together, how to create an offer. Because, you know, you put a product out in conjunction with a number of little side products that make an offer to make the whole thing attractive. I learned how to create marketing material, and I learnt the rudiments of going and getting people to look at my page. I mean, it takes all of it takes longer than 30 days. I make no bones about that. But if you actually come across this thing and you go through it a few times, you'll end up getting the best marketing education that you could ever imagine getting. And I can't praise that particular program too high, and I think other people do as well, because it made everything sound rational. Whereas I'd sort of floundered around trying to glean information from learning the way I was trying to learn with Alex Jeffries. Here it was just put in simple steps: this, and this. You know, logical minds at work, giving you the whole process, front to back, in a way that left you without any doubt as to what you had to do, which was great. I had to take a bit of time off last year because of a medical thing, so I would have been further down the line by now if that hadn't happened. But, you know, life goes on. And I started advertising my product, the Way to You program, on Facebook ads a while back. I drew a blank doing the Facebook ads myself, and I've had 3 people doing ads for me, and the middle one was absolutely appalling. So everything halted for a couple of months while I didn't make progress with that. Now, something I learnt on the One Funnel Away Challenge is that if you're trying to set up a business online, and this is important, you aren't the guy who has to do everything. You don't have to learn everything. You know, you don't have to be a marketing renaissance man. Actually, it's the last thing you want to be. The clever thing is to sort of isolate a few skills that you can do yourself. Because obviously stuff like being the front man, selling, marketing, writing content is probably going to fall on you. But finding people to help you with design and various other aspects, and doing ads for you, and generally taking some of the bits that you don't want to do off your plate seems to be the way to do it. You're rather in the position of a building contractor. I.e., you're the guy who gets the contract to do the original building work, And from there you have to find the people who can dig the trenches, then lay the foundations, then do the brickwork, then you have to get the carpenters, the plumbers, the electricians, etc., the roofing specialists, and then the people who do the plastering, put in the windows and stuff. You know, they're all different firms that do those various chores, but the building contractor doesn't do any of it. He just turns up and supervises. And this is how best to understand an entrepreneur. And that's really it. Sorry. I've arrived at this place, and this is where I am now. I'm getting subscribers, quite a trickle of subscribers onto my email list. I'm putting content out online in various places, and I'm having a sneezing fit. And that's really what I've got for you today, but thank you for listening, particularly indulging the last bit. But I better turn off now.